All right, guys, I want to take a minute before we get into this video, just to take a minute of your time, tell you what's going on. My son has made interest to me to get into doing some YouTube videos of his own, and so I was obliged to try to help him do that. I've already got an established channel, and we're going to be opening a playlist on my channel for exclusively his stuff. And let me tell you what he's working on, and then we'll give you the premise behind it. He has a 1968, I think if memory serves me correctly, AMCrambler American. Okay. He did some horse trading to get the car. The car's pretty rough, and he has come up with a powertrain for the car. A 1969 Ford 360 FE motor. So anyway, all that said, the premise behind what he wants to try to do is to show how you can still build good quality old school hot rods out of junkyard castaway parts, because most everything that we've got for this car is stuff that somebody else has thrown away or thrown their hands up and given up on. Okay, now we're going to be buying some new things for the car. Some of that's unavoidable, and some placement parts you're just better off doing that. But the hardcore parts, like the drivetrain, the main body and the main parts of the vehicle, are all going to be junkyard sourced pieces, okay, or something somebody didn't want anymore and sold it for cheap. So that's the premise behind what we're doing. Go down there and hit the subscribe button so you can get all the updates when we put something up. I've already got about 3 videos of this project in the can, and we've named this section the Junkyard Crawl. See what you can build out of the junkyard. Y'all come along.
Welcome back to the Rural Garage. Today we're starting a new project. We're going to take this hunk of junk and try to make it go really, really fast. All right, I'm going to give you guys just a little walkthrough of what this motor is, where I got it from, and what am I doing with it. So, what it is a 1969 Ford FE 360. You can tell that pretty quickly. All Ford motors, or at least the FEs do, have an ID tag that sits under this bolt right here. And the first 3 digits refer to your displacement, and the second 2 digits are the year. The other digits are like your paint code, chassis code, transmission, rear end, all that. But that doesn't matter because we're not putting it in any kind of Ford. So where did I get it from? It's been sitting on the dock at work. I work at a body shop that does a lot of restorations. And this has just been sitting there. It got pulled out of a 69 F100 or something or other, and it's just been sitting. Supposedly it was a running motor before it kind of got picked and plucked at. It's missing a crank pulley here, missing a couple of the bolts for the intake manifold. Kind of hard to see, but you can take my word. There's one. Anyway, it's just kind of been picked at. I've already got a couple of parts on the way, but we're gonna go ahead and strip this motor down soon and see what's inside of it. But the final question is, what am I doing with it? Well, let me take you out to my carport and I'll show you. What you guys are looking at here is a 1968 AMCrambler American. I picked this car up about a week ago. I traded another car. Probably shouldn't have done that because that one ran. This one does not. So come over here and I guess I'll just walk you guys through what's going on with this thing. Come on over here. Get a good view. This car came with the 199 Torque Command 6, and it is very seized. I cannot get it to turn over, and I am scared I'm going to break this crank bolt. But it probably won't be here much longer. We may do a little video on trying to get it to run before we pull it. but this is getting a 360 FE under the hood with a top loader transmission, and we don't know what we're doing for the rear end yet. But come back here and I'll show you what's going on there. Okay. See that camera for just a second. Right here is supposed to be a frame rail and a whole bunch of sheet metal, and instead we have a lot of rust. So we're gonna have to fabricate and repair all of this trunk pan and rear frame rail section. I will be making videos detailing how we're going to go through this process. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it yet, but you guys will be the first to know. All right, I'm going to show you guys what these floor pans are looking like. You can see that this is pretty much what you can come to expect from anything that's been rotting in a field for 30 or 40 years. I should have recorded video of the amount of rat nest and other pine straw and crap that was in here, but this pan is not I haven't welded it in or anything. It's just sitting here. I was checking the fitment on it. It seems to fit pretty good. I got it off of eBay from one of the distributors. There's several, and it looks like it's all the same stamping. It claims it was stamped in America on the box, but anyway, I got the front two for $180, and then the rear two were also $180, so it's not too bad. But this will be my first time installing floor pans into anything, so this video should go to prove that if I can do it, any moron can do it. So here we go. One thing that is good about the car is that the frame rails, except for the back section that I'm going to have to replace, are very solid all the way through. The car is structurally pretty sound, except for the passenger side and the rear. Even the brake lines weren't too rusty, fuel lines weren't too bad. Those will probably get replaced anyway, but just goes to show that you can never predict exactly how one is gonna rust, except for your battery box is always gonna be gone. Unless someone took the battery out, which not a real high chance of that. I do have to say though, my favorite part about this car is how well the original dash has held up. No cracks, tears, nothing. And just a light patina on the whole dash. This thing is gonna look really cool. The door cards here are not in too bad a shape. I think I'm gonna try to remake a hard material and then rewrap it with the same vinyl, just to try to stay cheap and kind of look, you know, just a little rat rod kind of, but still clean. I like when a car looks mostly original or vintage. I think that looks cooler sometimes than when they do these resto mods and they cram a modern Camaro dash into something. It just doesn't have the same appeal to me. So the point of this build is to show you guys that you can build a cheap and fun car out of scrap parts. But one thing that should be acknowledged about any build like this is that it's never really and truly going to be cheap. There's a lot of pieces, a lot of parts, and a lot of tools you're going to have to buy. I have invested plenty of money and time into tools and parts, and still find that I don't have nearly all of what I need. But all that said, we're going to try to build this car as cheap as possible and be as honest with y'all as possible about how we did it and how much it cost.